And here in Lloydminster, local community members gathered together outside of City Hall to rally in support of those affected. Jim McCardle is one of the many supporters that braved the cold this afternoon, and he believes that every moment outside rallying in support of Ukraine is worth the frostbite.
If you look back in Ukraine right now, there are people with no power, no heat, no hydro, no food, and that they're having a rougher time than we are. So this is minor compared to what they're having to put up with.
The war has not only affected those who currently live in Ukraine, but members of the community like Leela Sochuk, who grew up there and is holding her flag high to raise awareness.
So we want to support and remember all of people in Lloydminster that they will know that the war in Ukraine is continuing. So we need to do it some.
Rally participants plan to keep the topic of Russia's invasion of Ukraine at the forefront until the war subsides. Exotic animals from around the Amazon and Africa are in the border city this weekend at the Lloyd X. Our Abby St. John has more details on the event and the different animals you can see.
For the first time since 2019, the Wildlife Festival is taking place this weekend in the Culligan Water Building at the Lloyd X. There is a number of shows and exhibits to see and experience for all ages.
We have over 50 animals here. Some of them are just for looks, some of them are for petting, some of them are for holding with experiences. We have 2 stage shows rotating starting half an hour after doors, and then tonight we also have our adults only night. So we've got a lot planned just for Friday, and then Saturday we have our sensitivity hour from 10 to 11, so people with kids or adults that have special needs or sensitivities towards crowds and loud noise can come and check that out.
The Wildlife Festival travels to different places in Alberta and Saskatchewan to give people opportunities they can't get when they go to a normal zoo.
With the exception of like your major cities, there's not this opportunity. Like Lloydminster doesn't have a zoo. You're either having to go to Edmonton, Saskatoon, or Calgary. And even when you go to like the Forestry Farm or Calgary or Edmonton zoos, you don't have that hands-on opportunity.
This festival is a chance to learn more about the different habitats and animals that are native to the Amazon and Africa. Tickets for the shows are available at wildlifefestival.ca.
We have 3 different exhibits. So our Amazon exhibit is focused entirely on animals found in the Amazon. So we have things like emerald tree boas, basilisks, red-footed tortoises. One of the stage shows also focuses on Amazonian reptiles. We have This is Africa, so that is our newest exhibit, and I'm super proud of it. So that features African animals like pancake tortoises, which are critically endangered, and hedgehog and ball pythons, which are more common. So, so it gives a little look into the world there.
The Wildlife Festival is taking place here at the Lloyd X from the 24th to the 26th. It's a great way for adults and children alike to see animals that they may not ever have seen before, and you could also conquer some of your fears as well. For Primetime Local News, I'm Abby St. John.
That looks like it's going to be a great event, especially today. A nice way to get out of this cold weather and see some of those cool animals. Time now, though, for us to check in with Abby St. John for our first look at weather.
Thanks, Jace. Yes, the Wildlife Festival is going to be a ton of fun for anybody who just loves animals. I was a little freaked out holding that snake, as they are one of my fears, but I feel like I somewhat conquered them today, kind of, still terrified, but I got to hold one. So you can too if you go to the Wildlife Festival. But taking a look at our weather, like Jace mentioned, it is still very, very cold. However, we have some bright side on the weekend. It is going to get a little bit warmer, but currently it is minus 22 here in Lloydminster. We have some sun out, which is nice to see. However, with that wind chill, it feels closer to minus 34. So it is quite cold, which we saw throughout the whole week this week. Winds coming in from the southeast at 24 kilometers per hour. So definitely take that into consideration. Now across the region, it is cold on both sides of the border. Minus 22 in Wainwright and Vegreville, minus 23 out in St. Paul, minus 21 in Bonnyville, Vermilion and Provost, and also out in Edmonton, and minus 20 up in Lac La Biche. And then on the Saskatchewan side, minus 21 in Macklin and Pearceland, minus 16 in Isle Cross, minus 19 in Green Lake and in Meadow Lake, minus 22 in Maidstone and St. Walburg. Overnight tonight in North Battleford, it is still going to be fairly cold overnight, so definitely make sure your cars are plugged in. Minus 26 will be the low, and it will be a mostly cloudy night out tonight in North Battleford, so definitely keep out for that. It'll warm up a little bit more on Saturday. Minus 12 will be the daytime high, which is nice to see those lower temperatures. Not as cold, but it will be cloudy throughout the day, so keep that in mind. But it is nice to see that minus 12 and not minus 20. And now in Cold Lake overnight, it is going to drop lower than in North Battleford at minus 28. So definitely make sure those cars are plugged in and you're staying inside and nice and warm. It will be mostly cloudy skies and extremely cold out. And then tomorrow again, it will warm up, which is nice to see, a high of minus 11. And it will be a fairly cloudy day, but there will be some sun throughout to enjoy the outdoors. Minus 25 here on overnight tonight in Lloydminster. Cloudy skies as well. It seems to be the trend. We'll see a lot of clouds overnight tonight, but hopefully tomorrow it will be a daytime high of minus 11. So it is going to warm up. Mostly cloudy skies, but we will see that sun as well, like in Cold Lake. So that's going to be nice to see. Just that sun peeking out. It kind of makes it feel warmer than it is, but it is nice to see as well. And then over your weekend, we're going to have minus 9 as the high on Sunday. And we're going to have a sunny day out as well, which is always nice to see. And then a low of only minus 12. The wind chill may affect that and feel a little bit cooler than that minus 9, but it's still going to be better than it was during this week. And then on Monday, it's going to be even better with a high of minus 6. And like you can see, a very, very sunny day, which is going to be very nice. A little bit breezy, but with that sun and that high of minus 6, it's going to feel quite nice. And then a low of minus 18. So we're getting back into those warmer temperatures after having a week of frigid, freezing cold temperatures. So that is something very nice to look forward to. That is a first look at your weather forecast. We'll have more news with Jace coming up after the break.
The original Grazing School for Women is hosting a women's agriculture workshop on March 17th. Reese Andrews has more.
Today I'm super pleased to be joined here with Janice and Tanis, who are committee members of the Grazing School for Women, and they're going to be talking with me a little bit about a Women in Agriculture workshop they have coming up on March 17th. So can you guys start off by telling me a little bit about what it is that you guys do?
We both sit on the Grazing School for Women committee. The MD of Bonnyville has been supporting the Grazing School for the past 10 years.
And besides this workshop, what is the original Grazing School for Women all about?
For sure. The original Grazing School for Women is an annual event held in northeastern Alberta. Our school promotes sustainable agriculture, long-term livestock management strategies, environmental education, and networking of like-minded women. It is a collaboration between the MD of Bonnyville, the County of Vermilion River, MD of Wainwright, MD of Provost, Beaver County, Lamont County, Smoky Lake County, Two Hills County, and Cows and Fish.
And I know you guys are super excited about the workshop you have coming up, so can you give us a little bit of details on what it's going to entail?
This year, our winter workshop is hosted in the MD of Bonnyville at Flat Lake Hall. We have a jam-packed day full of speakers touching on topics such as on-farm funding opportunities, grazing strategies, plant identification, overcoming adversity, growing microgreens, and setting yourself up for a successful calving season. Many of our speakers are local to the area. We felt it was important to showcase the innovation and knowledge we have in our Lakeland region. And our lunch will be provided by the wonderful Three Sisters Catering.
Well, by the sounds of it, this event is going to be jam-packed with a pile of different things and definitely something worth checking out. But why do you think that this event is so important to have in the community?
I think that this event is really important because it it gives us a space for women to come together and kind of take a more maybe take more of a leading approach on their farm. Um, Women are more and more becoming involved in sort of farming operations and just agriculture in general. So I think that events like this are really important to have them come together and sort of share their knowledge with each other and ideas that they may have.
It's a great place to just come together and really connect with people who have the same interests and passions as you. So for anyone who may want to join this workshop, where can they sign up and what's the process like for that?
So the cost to attend our event is $40. And if they're interested in registering, they can do so by going to our website, which is www.grazing-school-for-women.ca, and that's the number 4.
And is there anything else you guys would like to add about this workshop?
So the $40 includes a full day of great speakers and a wonderful meal. And we just look forward to everybody coming out and joining us.
All right, Janice and Tanis, thank you so much for sitting down with me today. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I can't wait to see the turnout that this winter workshop has.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.
And now let's take a look at your agriculture prices for today. Wainwright Bisons are taking on the Wainwright Rustlers in a charity matchup this Saturday. With a preview of the event, here's Thomas Wildman.
Today we have Adam Huxley, the coach and manager of hockey operations for the Wainwright Bisons, and he is here today to tell us about a charity hockey game that his team will be playing against the Wainwright senior team. And so thank you so much for being with us today, Adam.
Thanks for having me.
Tell me a little bit about the charity hockey game.
Well, for sure, it's happening on Saturday night at 7:30 is the puck drop. And usually you don't really have a senior team playing a junior team. We've always actually kind of joked around about it, but they lost out to Elk Point and they're hosting provincial, so they aren't done yet. So they gotta keep practicing and stuff. And unfortunately, Onion Lake, I guess, folded. I didn't have enough players, whatever. It's kind of a frustrating situation, but this was kind of in the works before that even. And I just felt like, our guys need to keep going. And I felt that the senior team, they can't take 2 months off and then play in provincials. So it's a good way to get the guys to compete a little bit and to have some fun. And then most importantly, raise money for charity.
And then what are the proceeds for the hockey game going towards?
Okay, so Wainwright has an amazing rotary, probably like every place. And they are raising, so they just finished the CT scanner, which was like a 3 or 4 year project. Wainwright came up with like 2 point something million. And actually, we do a charity game in the summer, which I'm sure we'll talk about too, with a bunch of NHL guys and stuff. And over the last couple of years, we've raised like $20,000 or $30,000 for that through those games. Just even there's a lot of Lloyd players as well. It's junior college pro guys. But this new project, a new initiative they've taken on is called the All Seasons Park. It's going to be have boards for when the snow is on, so then they'll flood the rink and it'll be an actual rink, like NHL size rink. And in the summertime, it'll be basketball courts, pickleball courts, and tennis courts. Pretty, yeah, I know Lloyd has some stuff like that, but in Wainwright, that's a pretty big deal.
And if people would like to donate to the Rotary Club in a different way, where would be the best place for them to do that?
I think you just go on Facebook or any of those things, and you pull up. So for Wainwright, for example, if you're trying to donate to them, you could probably contact them online. They have lots of different people, or they'll have a number for you. And yeah, I mean, they're always taking. There's a lot of silent donors. A lot of people are very giving and anonymous or not. But yeah, no, this is just the Wainwright Bisons and Rustlers way of kind of giving towards the All Seasons Park. Couldn't have thought of a better night and event. There's nothing else going on in our area, so I hope there's a lot of people, and obviously it's for a good cause. The wrestlers, since they're not going to be having any playoff revenue and they need to raise a little money for provincials, will be benefiting from the 50-50 in the bar, and we'll just be benefiting from the ice.
Thank you so much, Adam, for all of the information. We hope you guys have a great turnout at your event and make a lot of money for the Rotary Club.
For me, and I hope to see you in the summer for our pro game.
And now it's time for us to check in once again with Abby St. John, who has another look at weather.
Thanks so much, Jace. Taking a look at your current weather forecast, it is -22. We've had a very cold week, but good news, it's going to get warmer over the weekend, so that's always nice, and the sun will be shining. -22 currently with that wind chill. It makes it feel closer to -34, which is unfortunate, but it will get warmer. We just got to wait for it. Across the region, similar temperatures on both Alberta and Saskatchewan, -23 in Red Deer and Rocky Mountain House, -20 in Edmonton, Athabasca, and Whitecourt, -17 out in Edson, and -10 in Jasper. And then on the Saskatchewan side, -20 in Saskatoon and North Battleford, -21 in Prince Albert, -22 in Melfort, and -19 out in Meadow Lake. And then up north, on Saskatchewan side, -16 in Loche, Buffalo Narrows, -15 in South End Reindeer, -15 also in Wollaston Lake, -18 in Flin Flon and Stony Rapids, -19 in Uranium City. And then on this Alberta side, -17 Fort Chipewyan, -16 in Fort McMurray and in Slave Lake, -19 in High Level, -20 in Peace River, and -18 out in Grand Prairie. And then in your southern state regions, -24 in Coronation, -21 out in Calgary, only -12 in Banff, -20 in Lethbridge, -17 in Medicine Hat. And then on your Saskatchewan side, -23 out in Kinnersley, -21 in Swift Current, -21 is also out in Regina, -20 in Estevan and Yorkton, -18 out in Moose Jaw. Overnight tonight in North Battleford, it will drop to -26, so definitely make sure your cars are plugged in. It'll be a mostly cloudy skies during the night in North Battleford. Overnight tonight in Cold Lake, -28 as the low, and then it'll also be a very cloudy evening as well, so definitely be prepared for that. Overnight across the region, same very low temperatures, -26 in Meadow Lake, Bonnyville, Provost, and Isle of Cross, and then -27 out in Paradise Hill. Very cloudy skies as well. That's kind of the trend for all over the region. Very cloudy skies over the night tonight. In Marinum, it'll be -25 overnight tonight, -28 in Pierceland, -27 in Unity, -26 in Wainwright, and then -17 out in Calgary. And again, those clouds will make appearances in those regions overnight tonight, so definitely be prepared for that. And then here in Lloydminster overnight tonight, we will drop down to -25. It'll be very cold and considerably cloudy, and then partially cloudy later on in the evening once we get into the morning. So definitely make sure that your cars are plugged in and are prepared for those frigid temperatures. However, we've seen them throughout the week today, or out throughout the week this week, so we should be fairly familiar with these frigid temperatures. And then over the next 7 days here in Lloydminster, it will get warmer throughout the week, which is nice to see. Starting off with tomorrow, a high of -11 and a low of -17. And we'll see some sun, but it will be mostly cloudy skies. And then on Sunday, less clouds, more sun, which is nice to see, and only a high of -9 and a low of -12. And then a sunny day out on Monday with a high of -6. So that is going to be very nice considering the week that we've had. And then it gets back to cloudy skies on Tuesday with a high of -10 and a low of -20. On Sunday, we get that sun shining again with a little bit of cloud throughout the day, a high of -12 and a low of -16. And then on Thursday, despite those clouds, it is only going to be -3 and as the high and -8 as the low. So that is going to be very nice to look forward to. And maybe throughout the week, we'll get some sun on that Thursday as well. And then on Friday, it'll be a mostly sunny day with a high of only -4 and a low of -15. So the warm weather is surely something to look forward to coming into next week. That is a look at your forecast. We'll have more news coming up after the break.
Checking in today with Shannon McEwen from the Lloyd Mall. Now, the Lloyd Mall is hosting the 100 Women Who Care event on February 28th. Doors open at 6:30. So, Shannon, for those who don't know about the 100 Women Who Care, what does this event entail?
100 Women Who Care, they are a grassroots mobilization of fundraising for community-focused impact. So basically, it's one hour, $100. 3 times a year they meet. 3 nominated local nonprofits present their projects in need of funds at each giving night. The members vote, and one non-for-profit goes home with the funds. So it really is a night to learn, visit, and give back. So as you mentioned, it will be held at Lloyd Mall, February 28th. Doors open at 6:30. And then, of course, if the community wants to learn more, I want to let everybody to know to absolutely visit the website for 100 Women Who Care, and that's 100womenlloyd.com, where you'd be able to learn more about the organization and also become a member if that's something that you would like to do. So all of that's up on their website, so definitely do go there and take a look.
Now, this isn't the first time that the Lloyd Mall has hosted the 100 Women Who Care event. Why is it so important for the Lloyd Mall to be able to give local organizations a space to host their events?
As you know, our local nonprofits really are kind of the heart of the community. And so for us, it just really is about giving back to the communities that we serve and just keeping those connections with our local nonprofits, with the community. And there's so many different programs and services that our local nonprofits offer, and they do need our help, right, as well. So I think it's just it's really vital that Lloyd Mall is there and part of that. We're also celebrating 50 years in the community this year. So for us, the community really supports our endeavors, and then obviously supporting the community back.
Now, I've been to the event in the past. In 2020, I was there, and it's so amazing just to hear all the different organizations speak and go through why they need the money and then ultimately receive the money. So it should be a great event on the 28th. But that's not the only thing taking place here soon at the Lloyd Mall. A couple days later, on March 2nd, there'll be a yoga event. Now, the proceeds of this, they're going to support the Health Foundation.
That's right. So it's hot yoga. We all know we're all bundled up right now and we're tense. So a hot yoga night, as you said, that's going to benefit the Lloyd Health Region. And we have they've organized a fantastic yoga instructor with Kathy, and you're able to book that class online at lloydmall.com under events. There's a link there. Spots are limited, so I'm going to say you're going to want to book sooner than later just to reserve your spot so you don't miss out.
All right, so got to make sure people go and register for that. Is there a charge for this event?
No charge, just simply a donation. And whatever that donation that you want to give back to the health region.
Yeah, there's always so much going on at the Lloyd Mall. Shannon, thank you so much for joining us today and sharing a little bit about what people can expect here in the next couple of days.
As you stated, just really follow along. We have some fantastic events coming up. So I do recommend following Lloyd Mall on Facebook or Instagram, and check out these amazing events that we have planned each month.
Coming up tomorrow, it is the 19th annual Cutter Rally for Cancer. It's going to be held out here at the Lloyd X, and first prize, you get to choose if you're the first place winner, and maybe you're going to choose this gorgeous cutter, or perhaps you'll pick the harness package or $2,000 cash. But when you get your ticket for the Cutter Rally for Cancer, you get in for a chance to win, and you also support a really important cause. The proceeds that are raised are going to go to the Lloydminster Region Health Foundation and also to Haying in the 30s. So the funds raised, they help out people in our region who are fighting cancer. You can take part in the annual Cutter Rally for Cancer a number of different ways: by bringing out your team and your own cutter, by taking part on horseback, by being a trail participant, and also by getting a ghost hand as well. Plus, new this year, they've added a wiener roast on the trail. There's always lots of great prizes, and it's just a great day and a great meal as well. For full details and to get your ticket, you can go online, lloydex.com. If you're in need of a night of great laughter, head to the Vic Juba Community Theatre on Thursday, March the 2nd. Stand-up comedy at its best when the Snowed In Comedy Tour comes to Lloydminster. And this tour, it features internationally renowned comedians and some champions, like the Just for Laughs winner, Dan Quinn, is going to take to the stage. Also, the great Canadian Laugh-Off winner, Paul Meyerhag, will take to the stage, and 6-time Canadian Comedian of the Year nominee, Pete Zedlacker, and more. Tickets are still available, so for a night of great laughter, head to the Vic Juba Theatre's website, vicjubatheatre.ca, to get your tickets for the Snowed In Comedy Tour. And coming up on Sunday night, the Vermilion Folk Club hopes that you can join them for some great live music. True Blue Music will be playing at Copper Cork Distillery. Tickets available right now and only $25 each. Well, whatever you choose to do this weekend, we hope you stay safe and stay healthy.
What's Happening is brought to you by Northern Factory Workwear, Circle Drive East, Saskatoon, and Highway 17 South, Lloydminster.
Furniture set and design supplied by Furniture Gallery and Furniture House, downtown Lloydminster.
Joining us today for this week's entertainment panel is, of course, Abby St. John. Thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, Abby.
Of course. We say this every week, but we're always happy to be here.
Yeah, we got to say it every time, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. You got to keep it consistent.
Everybody's favorite day just for this panel.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and this one, we got some actually kind of a hilarious topic starting off here, I think, that but we have to talk about.
I think
because,
so.
you know, it's one of those films, I think, like this studio took a chance on it, and for people out there that do like kind of like their stupid movies in a way, this one seems like it's going to be a memorable one. Yeah. Cocaine Bear.
Yes.
Yeah, and for others out there that may be like, what is this movie about? It's pretty straightforward. This black bear finds some cocaine out there in the woods and eats all of it, and then in this movie goes on a killer rampage. Yep. Pretty much, but it looks like it's going to be hilarious because, you know, directed by Elizabeth Banks. We even got Ray Liotta featured in it. Yep. You know, kind of I think probably his last project before the passing, which is wild, but you know, great movie to be in, I guess.
Exactly.
Yeah, and then we even got Jesse Tyler Ferguson, which I think is interesting, of course, because with Modern Family, Elizabeth Banks was their best friend in it in that show. So the fact that he's in this and the way he looks in this movie too, comedy.
Yeah, I think. It definitely is a big risk that they did take, like he said, because the concept is incredibly ridiculous. However, it is kind of based on true events. So back in the 80s or the 70s, a drug drop went wrong and dropped about 17 or 70 kilos of cocaine in the forest or in the woods, and a bear stumbles upon it. And in real life, it doesn't go on a rampage. They do end up finding it OD'd.
Yeah.
Not too long afterwards. So writer Jimmy Warden, who wrote the screenplay for it, he kind of wanted to write what happened in that time frame from when he took the coke to when he OD'd.
Yeah.
So that's kind of where the imagination and the ridiculousness comes in, because it is based on true events, but the in-between was kind of, you know, written as to what would happen if people did stumble across a bear who was hopped up on cocaine. It looks really good.
Yeah.
It looks ridiculous, but it looks really good, and it's getting some pretty good responses. It has a 70% critic rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which I was shocked by how high the critic rating is, because on some movies like this, you don't get a huge critic rating. 80% audience rating. So audiences are really enjoying this movie and the dark comedic humor towards the storyline. And a couple other actors who are in it, Kerry Russell and O'Shea Jackson Jr., so Ice Cube's son, is also in it.
Amazing.
So I think when you have the right writers, the right directors, the right actors, anything that seems super silly and ridiculous could be really good.
Yeah, when I first heard about it, I personally was kind of like, this is going to be amazing in the sense of like, oh my lord.
It's going to be so bad it's good.
Yeah, right? So I was actually very happy to see. It's just a nice, honestly, like classic silly film that you're like, you know what, let's go check this out and have some good laughs. Definitely a recommendation for people out there that are wanting to check it out. They're kind of hesitant. I think they should.
Yep.
Yeah,
I
but
agree.
Now something else that's, this one's more of a sad topic, I'd say, for us, because we love Mindhunter.
Yep.
And on Netflix, you know, it's officially, I think it was kind of confirmed before, but it's been officially saying that season 3 is canceled. It's not coming back, and that sucks.
Yes.
It sucks. I think, there's actually so many people I know that watch that show. And of course, season 2 I thought was excellent, especially with a lot of the serial killers they spoke with and everything that they were kind of investigating in, or just kind of understanding how their mind works. And then they had like the Atlanta child murders that was just devastating, but real life. And then of course we had BTK killer in the back, and now don't even get to see that progress.
They had it all set up for the BTK killer to come in, and you know, it was kind of at the beginning of him going on, and they hint towards it. They never discover what's going on. It's just showing his beginning stages of when he got into killing.
Yeah.
But Mindhunter is season 1 and season 2 are fantastic. It is a fantastic show, and for those who don't know what it's about 2 FBI agents who really are the pioneers on profiling within the FBI. They change kind of how the FBI looks at certain cases that don't have motive around it, and that's what all serial killers are. They don't have motive. They have a pattern, but they don't have motive to what they're doing.
Yeah.
And so they go and start interviewing all these convicted serial killers already, starting with Ed Kemper. They also, you know, they interview Marilyn Manson. Season 1 is certified fresh with 96%, and then season 2 is 99% certified. So this show garnered a lot of response from people. And, you know, Netflix has been making a ton of awful decisions. So disappointed.
It's devastating because them saying the budget thing of, you know, it's so much money. It's like, there's so many projects that you have on Netflix that have some big budgets, but like, it's like they're not wanting to gamble doing it on this certain show, but do they not realize the huge fan base they have for it? Like, so many people found it so fascinating how the minds work, and they did fantastic with casting for the serial killers, how well they looked like them and everything. Like,
definitely check out Mindhunters, but be warned, there will not be a season 3.
You will be devastated like all of us when you get to the end of season 2.
Because you realize how good the show is.
Yeah. But we had to help get the word out there for anybody still pining for that season 3. Sorry, it's officially canceled. So that's unfortunate. But that's all the time we have for this week's entertainment panel. So once again, thank you so much for joining us today, Abby.
Of course.
And that's our show on this Friday night. Thank you all so much for joining us. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you again on Monday.